Morning, cup of coffee on the go. We're on a road trip today, heading south from Vancouver, and we're heading towards Coupeville, which was one of our last stops on our road trip last year when we were driving across the Canada and USA. And when we came back up, we went via Coupeville, and it was raining and it wasn't that nice of a day. So we thought, you know what, we'll come back another time. And almost a year to the day, we are going back. So super excited, coffee on the go, we're all packed. And it's going to be about an hour down to the border. Not sure how busy the border is going to be. It's a long weekend in Canada, we'll see. Once we're over the border, it should be about a 20-minute ride to Fairhaven, where we're going to stop for a trendy coffee and hopefully a bagel and cream cheese. Let's go. Our journey takes an hour as we travel from the north shore of Vancouver via downtown to the border. The day is dreamy with sunny and mild weather, and I'm so happy to be back in the campervan again and knowing that we'll be reminiscing about our 2023 road trip across Canada and USA in a cool camp spot in Washington State. We left ours at 8 AM and instinct tells us that we may have left it too late for the border, but the journey down has been smooth so far with limited traffic. I have no idea what this mist is about. We're now approaching the border to what looks like queues. The board said an hour's wait time, which is not ideal, but what can you do? Yeah, it's about an hour wait apparently to get through the border, about 9 AM. So we've just gone through the traffic lights, we're in the queue now to go to the border. Never done this before, first time in 5 years, this way. So let's see how easy or hard it's going to be. After some weird border admin, which included an I-94 visa only for Emma and not for me, despite both of us not crossing the border this year, we're done in 40 minutes and on our way to Fairhaven. The road down through Washington State is the I-5, and we head down for 25 minutes before turning off to Fairhaven. We have made it across the border. Little admin issue, but it didn't take too long. Somehow got another visa, don't ask. But we're in Fairhaven, which is about 20 minutes from the border, and this looks a real cute little town. As you can see, the train, or as you can hear, the train's going off. I'm looking forward to checking out some fairly old buildings. It's gonna be cool. Let's do it. As we walk around the town, Fairhaven seems cute and quaint. By American standards, it's quite old for the West Coast, and I absolutely love these buildings. Back home. Fairhaven's industry is salmon canning, which started in the 1940s and has one of the largest factories in the world. The area is officially part of Bellingham, which is not far from here. It's time for coffee and breakfast, so we head towards Avenue Bread, which looks super trendy. Our first stop in Fairhaven is Avenue Bread. This looks a very trendy place with great bread and coffee options. Let's go. coffee and bagel are delicious. I love the vibe of the cafe and they serve great bread here too. One last walk around town and you can't beat a cool bookshop, can you? The buildings are a classic 1850s style West Coast design, and there's something about them that I love, especially this town square. Now it's time to head back to the car, and if you want to park in Fairhaven for the morning, it's $1.50 per hour from 11 AM. One of the main roads we wanted to check out on this trip was Chuckanut Drive, which is a coastal drive towards Whidbey Island. The road is so quiet, and look at these views as we weave around these corners.
Back at Canada or across Canada.
Chuckanut Drive is also known as State Route 11, and it's a scenic road that begins in Fairhaven and is renowned for its breathtaking views of the Pacific Northwest natural beauty. As you head south from Fairhaven, the road quickly transitions from the quaint charm of the neighbourhood to a winding cliff-hugging route along the coastline. We're greeted by sweeping views of the San Juan Islands and Bellingham Bay on one side, while on the other, lush forests and sandstone cliffs rise steeply. Along the way, there are several viewpoints where you can pull over to admire the scenery or even spot marine life in the water below. We didn't see any. The road also passes through Dreary State Park, Washington's first state park, where you can stop for a hike or a picnic. And we stopped off here for a viewpoint. The drive is relatively narrow and winding, adding to its charm, but also requiring caution because it can get a bit hairy in wet or foggy conditions. Further south, Chuckanut Drive offers access to several oyster farms and seafood restaurants, making it a favourite for foodies. As you approach the town of Bow and the Skagit Valley, the road opens up into rolling farmland, providing a contrast to the rugged coastline scenery. As you can see here, the scenic part is now over. As we head down, there are a number of bridges to cross, and people love to park up here and take their photos. I felt this was a little bit too busy and involved a lot of admin, so my advice is to drive slowly through and get the passenger to take the photos. This is now Whidbey Island, and via a quick pit stop for food, we are heading to Coupeville. We made it, and just like a year ago, we parked up at Sunshine Drip Cafe for a coffee and a bagel. The bagel and cream cheese here are tastier than Margot Robbie. What day? The day is so mild and sunny, we sat outside to soak in the sun. This cafe is on the outskirts of town, so we drove into park. 1 year later, we have returned to Coupeville, and this time it's different. It's sunny, it's way busier, and just looks like a glorious day. Gonna go down to the wharf straight ahead, and then we're gonna check out the little street that goes through the village, and we may do a walk as well to the left. So looking forward to seeing this place again in all its glory, in the sunshine, on Whidbey Island. Coupeville is a charming historic town located on Whidbey Island in Washington State, nestled along the shores of Penn Cove. It's one of the oldest towns in the state with a rich history dating back to the mid-19th century, and it's part of the Eby's Landing National Historical Reserve, which helps preserve its well-preserved historic buildings, scenic landscapes and cultural heritage. First up is checking out the wharf, and look at these colours. This has given me Lunenburg vibes. The Coupeville wharf with its iconic red building is a popular spot to walk out over the water, offering beautiful views of the cove and the surrounding landscape. It's also a good place to spot marine life such as seals and seabirds. And there is Mount Baker in the distance. Absolutely unreal. Mount Baker in the background. Absolutely sensational. Coupeville is very different vibe today to the last time. Sunshine, way busier, but glorious. What a place. What a place. Was it giving Lunenburg vibes?
Yeah, Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia, got some buildings on stilts over there. You can see there. And calm waters. The town's waterfront is particularly picturesque, with old wooden buildings, quaint shops and restaurants lining the front street, many of which have been around for over a century. Coupeville is known for its quiet small town charm, and many visitors come to enjoy the relaxed pace, explore the antique shops, galleries and cafes, or simply take in the views of the distant Cascade and Olympic Mountains. The town is also famous for its Penn Cove mussels, which are a local delicacy, but you won't be seeing me eat them. Emmy needs to check out her yarn store, Sea Breeze Yarn. Sea Breeze Yarn. I just love this little town, the cute buildings, the colours, the vibe and the independent shops. And after a long day, it's time to head out to our campsite for the evening. At first, we're heading to Rhododendron campsite, which was closed. So then it's Fort Casey State Park as plan B. 2 campsites down. No luck. 1 closed, 1 needs bookings or ringing to book on the day. So we're going to plan C, I think, and then see what happens there. If that fails, we're heading to north of the island to go to one of the many campgrounds up there. Yeah. meh. This guy in the van didn't bother helping us out at all. The reason these plans are failing is because they are all booked out, which we did not expect because last year we just rolled up into campsites and parked up, but now it's good weather and a weekend, so maybe we've underestimated that. C has not worked. Plan D. Then E. Then home. The colours driving back are pretty insane. It wouldn't be completely dark for an hour. I think it was if we drove back.
Yeah, second exit.
East for half a mile.
Options D and E both failed too, which is devastating. Now we are considering whether to drive back to Vancouver as we're running out of options, and we have one last option up our sleeve. And we lucked out. We arrived into Bayview State Park hoping for a space, as this is out of Whidbey Island and it looked pretty full when we drove in, but we spoke to the camp host. Becky was so sweet. She advised us that they had 2 slots available due to late cancellations. After an epic day, that is a campsite for the ages. Look at this view. To celebrate, we've got to look at the stunning sunset. Stunning. And now we are parked in here. $40 for the night. What a day. We have to owe the campground $10 because we don't have enough money, but their volunteer is very, very nice and allowed us to stay. She's got 2 slots left. This was the last chance saloon. Next stop would have been Vancouver, so we're glad to settle in. It's cool. Amazing colours over there, and I'm looking forward to settling in for the night in the van. Unreal. And sandwiches for dinner in the campervan.
Morning. Slept 11 hours. I put it on record before in the podcast that on the road trip last year in Canada, USA, 4 months, probably slept the best ever because it's quiet, it's so comfortable, cosy, and I just feel really comfortable in it. Just so nice. Just love it. That's a lovely night's sleep. We're going to get up, get the money that we owe, we have to get some more money to owe to the campsite person, and then probably head off upwards towards BC and find somewhere for breakfast, probably in Bellingham, I imagine, or a little place in Fairhaven. We'll see.
Is there anything better than an early awakening and a stroll in the sunshine on a campsite? I'm not sure. The smell of the smoke from the stoves making coffee and breakfast is magical. I love it. We're making a quick dash to the gas station before the state park official arrives on site to get our cash and to get a coffee to go. In the USA, they have these weird drive-through coffee stalls which are normally independent and they're not too badly priced at $3, but it's a shame that people can't find the time to sit down for 20 minutes to enjoy a coffee.
Hey, how you doing?
What sounds good today?
I've had 2 Americanos, black.
16 ounce?
The smallest, yeah.
12?
Yeah, 12, yeah.
No dramas, we collected our coffee and headed back to the campsite to pay the rest of our fees and sit in the sun with a pastry and a coffee.
So just a summary from last night, we ended up with plan E, which was the last plan I think. And we're here this morning and it's an absolutely glorious morning. The sun is out, the birds are singing, it's got leaves everywhere, it's autumnal fields and it's mild. We're having a coffee outside, I'll come to that in a second, and it just seems a bit idyllic. What we did We went to the ATM down the road and got some money out because we needed some money to cover the shortfall for the campsite. And Becky, who is the volunteer, was very kindly let us stay the night. So come next morning with your money and it'll be fine. So we got the money, got the coffee, went to the thing, and even the official, if you like, state park person said, yeah, it's absolutely fine. And it was cheaper than we thought. Result. The coffee we went and got was Beacons. Now in America they have these weird things called drive-through coffee stations. They do proper coffees like espresso and stuff. But we got an Americano to go and it's only $3. That is cheap. And we got some croissants from yesterday that we bought that were a day old already, so that'd be interesting. But overall, I think Bayview is probably one that not many people would go to because it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's on the coast, there's a beach just down there, and overlooking the water is not the most idyllic because you've got some sort of industrial stuff going on. But away from Whidbey Island, where it can be really busy and all the campsites were full last night, this can be like a plan E if you need to stay somewhere. But actually, it's huge. There's cabins, there's loads of campsites, and the staff are really nice. So, for me, what a place. One last thing before I get attacked by leaves. Got to give the coffee a go, right? Got to give that a taste. So, first impressions, 12 ounce, looks huge though. Oh yeah, I'd say that's a very standard American espresso / Americano. Decent though, for $3.
We're back on the road and we're heading up north the same way back as we drove yesterday. Next stop is Bellingham, which is the main hub, and on a Sunday it's free to park in the centre of town. This is another place we want to return to see it in the sunshine. And of course, as you know on this channel, we love brunch, and one of the best places to eat in Bellingham is Little Cheerful. However, be sure to get there early to put your name down on a list because it can get really busy on the weekends. There are serious plates of food here and proper hash browns are great to see. Our server is Carl and he looked like someone attending Woodstock in 1969. We saved the proper coffee stop for a coffee at the coffee shop by Hammerhead Coffee Roasters, which looks great from the outside. The inside is a modern cafe with everything you need, including great merch. The coffee tasted amazing, and I love the ambience. Big windows and lots of light, perfection. One last look around Bellingham before heading up north.
Drivers, get off your phones when driving on the freeway. Cheers.
We decided to stop in Blaine on the border, and let's just say this is somewhere you can skip. It looks completely desolate. If you want something better, head over the border to White Rock in Canada. This railway cafe looks like the only thing that's going on in Blaine. And the border back into Canada took 5 minutes, and we're straight back into the usual traffic in Vancouver. This was our little road trip coming to an end, and we both loved being back in the van and checking out new roads and new areas. We are both made for road trips. Whidbey Island is such a cool, peaceful spot if you're looking for a little getaway. There are many campsites there, and Destination Sound look pretty idyllic, so we're going to head to there next time. Please check out my blog for more on our road trip in Washington State, and drop a comment if you liked the video. Happy road tripping. Please follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel today, and let's go and see the world. Cheers, Hamo.